Hey Gotham fans, and welcome to another week of Gotham reviews. This week we will be looking at Season 2, Episode 14, but before we look at it, let's just say a quick spoiler alert, because obviously we will be spoiling last night's episode, so if you haven't watched it, please go back and watch it, and if you haven't watched the last few episodes, then make sure you go and catch up on them before you come back and watch this episode's review. So yeah, and just a quick apology, if you can see these birthday cards up here on my bookshelf, that's because it's my birthday a couple of weeks ago and I still want my cards up because I need to put them up this week. I didn't really have anywhere to put them, but now I've put them on the bookshelf, so yeah. I hope you enjoy the episode. Okay, so the title of Season 2, Episode 14 was This Ball of Mud and Meanness, which I was a little bit confused about, if I'm honest. I assume they're talking about the Earth, but I don't really know. If they are talking about the Earth, then obviously it's because all the characters on it and everything that happened, it's starting to get a bit mean, and it's kind of, I don't know, whether it's because it's mean. Gotham always is a mean program anyway. I feel like it's not really developed anymore, so it's not like they've got anything additional to talk about them. This ball of mud and meanness, even. I don't know, it confused me a little bit, so if you can shed any light on that, please comment in the comments down below. So my 5 words are under 3 words this week. Right, 3 words are more exciting again. That's more exciting again. Now we'll go through as I say, and you'll see it as we go through. So yeah, let's just dive straight in with the first character. So we'll look at Jim Gordon first. Now, he wasn't too bad this week. It wasn't as bad as the last couple of weeks anyway. It was much better than the last couple of weeks. He had to rescue Bruce again, even though he didn't really need rescuing, but he kind of did it anyway because it was his duty. And I thought that's really sweet, the fact that both him and Alfred now are more of a father figure to Bruce, I think, than than anyone else in the city. And the fact that he's starting to investigate Miss Kringle's disappearance. Will he kind of work out the truth? And if he finds out the truth, what will he do about it? I want to know. Is he going to basically report Ed with Enigma and get him arrested, or is he going to sort it out himself, or what's he going to do? I don't know. It's interesting. Another moral dilemma for Jim Gordon. He seems to get into a lot of moral dilemmas recently. I don't know why. It's quite funny to watch him get into these moral dilemmas though, because he just never seems to make the right decision. Poor Jim. Harvey Bullock as well. He was in it for one scene, which was in the hospital with Alfred and Jim. He had a couple of funny lines in it, but again, I still don't think he's got enough screen time. There needs to be more from him. I love him, he's such a good character, but he hasn't got enough screen time. And also, finally, then, before I look at the main kind of people of this episode, Leslie Thompkins. Now, she was in it for one scene. She asked Jim, obviously, to investigate Kringle's disappearance. It kind of made her a little bit useless almost in a way. It felt like she was being not used to her full talents last night. Again, she had such a good episode last week, Leslie Thompkins. I can't remember her name, Morena Baccarin, I think. Something like that. She's a really good actress, and she just wasn't really used to her full potential this episode, I didn't feel. Like they could have used her a bit more maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I just felt like after last week's good episode, they just kind of didn't use her to her full strengths. Now this is going to be quite a long section. This is on Bruce and Alfred, because these were my main focus for me. Alfred was great last night. His fight with Cupcake was violent, obviously, because it was a fight. Extremely exciting, however, and it was extremely well acted. I thought the way that Alfred was talking to Bruce while beating the other guy up and having this fight was hilarious. It made me laugh. The fact that he appealed to Jim and Harvey for help was fairly understandable, I think. He likes to be able to sort things out himself. And if he can't do that, then he admits defeat. He's not like he's going to do it to kill himself. He's not going to keep going on this if he can't do it. He's not going to kill himself because of it. He's just going to kind of step back and say, okay, I need some help. And that's what's good about him. It's brave, I think, but at the same time, it's quite smart. Now we're going to move on to Bruce. So Bruce disobeying Alfred once again last night is a risky move, but it makes an interesting development in his character, I think, because so far we've seen him more very obedient of Alfred. He's always listened to Alfred. He's always made the right decisions because of Alfred, almost. And I think now he's starting to make independent decisions. It's making for a not interesting character in him. The fact that he went to Celestial East, I think it was that, the nightclub, I think that's what it was called. Something like that, Celestial East or Celestial East, was brave. I want to know if he just met Harley Quinn, because he met a woman called Jerry, and she reminded me a bit of Harley Quinn from the comic book, so I'm wondering if it's Harley Quinn. We'll come on to into her in a bit. And the fact that he confronted Malone, it was extremely tense. David Mazouz was probably my standout actor for this episode. That scene that he did with Matches Malone was the best scene that he's been in by none, bar none even. It was his best acted scene ever. It's his best acting he's done. And the fact that he's now decided to live on the streets, I think with Selina for a bit, is a bit confusing, to be perfectly honest. I'm not really sure where they're going with this and where he's going with it, to be honest, but that's Bruce Wayne, a bit of a odd child. So Selina Kyle. Now, she gave Bruce a gun, which was understandable because he asked for it, so she was just being a good friend by asking and doing a favour for him and doing what he asked her to do. And the fact that she's now helping him to live on the streets. I want to know why she's doing it, whether she's doing it as a friend or whether she's doing it because she wants him to understand more about her world and how she lives and how other people live and why, you know, kind of people are like they are in Gotham City. It's not about just the rich kids versus the poor kids. It's why the poor kids are the poor kids and why the poor people are the poor people, and why they are living on the streets and how they act actually. And I think that Bruce will realise from this, I think it's going to be interesting that Bruce will start to see how other people live other than just his little bubble inside Wayne Manor. So let's move on to the main villains then. So first of all we're going to talk about Penguin. Now we kind of saw the torture video / illusion-y thing that he's being shown by Doctor Strange and Miss Peabody. It was horrible for Oswald and it was pretty horrible for me as well. I found it extremely distressing. I thought it was quite distressing actually, the fact that his mother got beaten by his other kind of illusion self. He seems to be cured of his violent nature, which was a little bit disappointing because I like him with his violent nature. It allows him to bring out his acting, his fantastic acting. Being released from Arkham is quite satisfying, but I do like seeing the criminally insane in Arkham, like the other villains who are in Arkham, because they're extremely well acted. So having no one in Arkham at the moment means that we might not see Arkham for a while again. I'd like to see more of Arkham. And talking of Arkham, let's talk about Doctor Strange. Now he's still experimenting on people, including Penguin in this episode. He seems to be doing a good job at healing people, to be honest, with the way that he managed to make Penguin from the violent character he was at the start of Season 2 into this kind of reduced, almost like a shell of the previous Penguin that we had, which I'm not really sure I'm very satisfied with him doing that to a Penguin, but never mind. Now Penguin's been released, will we see him still is what I want to know. I hope so, because I really like the actor. I can't remember his name, B.D. Wong or something like that I think, but he's really good. He's really good because it's the first time they've actually depicted Hugo Strange in a real life drama, or in real life. They've done it in the animated series and they've done it in the comic books, but they've never done it in and they've done it in video, but they've never depicted it in real life. So I think seeing him, this actor, bring him to life for the first time live before your eyes is quite interesting, and I hope we do see him. Now onto the Riddler. Now he was threatening to Jim this week, which was quite exciting but also quite deadly. I think the Riddler is starting to get really, really scary now, and I'm actually starting to feel like he could be on the same level of horribleness and scariness as Penguin now. Talking to himself was well acted by Corey Michael Smith, and it was well written as well by the writer who wrote this episode, which I can't remember, but he was a very good writer anyway. I love the continuation of the trademark question mark that he wrote over Jim's face. I want to know what he intends to do with Jim now. It seems to me that he's either going to kill him or he's going to go after him, or he's going to do something to him, which is quite exciting to find out what's going to go on and happen. And finally then, let's talk about Jerry from last night's episode. Now I assumed last night when I first watched it that she was Harley Quinn, but talking to some people today about it who have watched Gotham, and also looking at some reviews online, a lot of people are just saying that she is part of this group that have been influenced by Jerome's actions back in episodes 2 and 3 of season 2. Now I'm a little bit confused. Oh, if you don't know what Jerome's actions were, actually, guys, you better go and you might have to go back and watch them so you can understand. That's episode 2, Knock Knock, and episode 3, The Last Laugh, of my season 2 reviews, which you can get on my playlist on my channel page. But watch the end of this first and then go back and watch it. So she told Bruce where to go and find Malone, a match with Malone, which was good, I suppose, because it helped her. But I don't feel helped Bruce, sorry. But I don't feel like she could be good for Gotham if we see more of her. Hopefully, we will see more of her because I liked her. She was a very good actress, actually. Whoever's playing her, I did quite like that. So on to my conclusion. It was a much better episode than last week's episode, which I said at the beginning. It was a fantastic acting from David Mazouz, as I've said. I still think they can include some of the season regulars a bit more often than they are doing at the moment. It's particularly because they're all listed still, and season regulars at the kind of after title sequence bit where they have all the all the credits. Most of them are still, all of them are still listed, so we need to get them, including James Frayne, who plays Theo Galavan. So I'm wondering what Hugo Strange is going to do. Will he bring him back to life? I'm still hoping he will. I don't know if it will work or not, because he brought back Victor Fries from the dead-ish. He wasn't really dead, but he was frozen, but they managed to bring him back. So hopefully they will bring back Theo Galavan somehow. That'd be quite interesting. So my overall rating then this week is 8.5 out of 10, which is better than last week's 7. Still not quite as high as the 9s, but it was definitely up there again with one of my favourite episodes of the season so far. We've actually only got, we only have 8 episodes left of the season now, which is a bit sad because it means that we won't be able to have, many more of these. We only have 8 more episodes, and then we'll have the last one, which will be my wrapping up of season. Oh no, wait, we'll have another couple after that, so we've got another 10 videos. Okay, anyway, that's enough about that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below onto my channel page, please. And you can go and check out all my other videos at any time you want. There's plenty on there for you to enjoy and watch. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. See you next week, guys. Bye!